What's going on, guys? I'm Dylan.
And I'm
We're the 406boys, back again with another video. And today, we are back with episode 3 of HauntTober.
I will haunt you.
So, today's video is episode 3, obviously, and welcome back. Today's episode, we are talking about past costumes that we have had, and basically stories to go along with some of them. We're not talking about stories from all of them, but just basically skimming over all the costumes and some of the costumes we've had from past years, and if we have some stories to go along with them. So if you love some of the stories, hit that like button, and let's get right into it.
The first one was a pretty simple one. I actually, for at least a couple of Halloweens, I have gone as Michael Myers. Mainly because I played Michael Myers at a haunted house one time, and I just had the costume on. It's like, cool, I can just wear that for Halloween.
So my first one is, I went as a Dalmatian. I think this was like from a movie or something.
I think it was when 102 Dalmatians came
Yeah,
out.
this is when I was a lot younger and I was a kid. And it was from the movie 102 Dalmatians. Came out with who played Cruella de Vil?
Glenn Close.
Yeah, when Glenn Close played Cruella. I really liked that movie as a kid. I don't know if I quite like it as much as an adult, but I was really into it at the time.
One year, during a Halloween party, I got lazy with it, the costume. So I went as an Albertsons employee. I just was working at Albertsons at the time, and I just wore my uniform there because I forgot to get a costume for that. So I just went as an Albertsons employee.
So my next one is, I think I went as a Velociraptor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went as a Velociraptor, and
because I think the movie Dinosaur was big at the time.
Yeah, I just went as a Velociraptor, so, I mean, that one's pretty generic. A lot of kids went as dinosaurs, so, you know, I just really like dinosaurs.
It's funny that you mentioned the Velociraptor, because I remember as a kid, one of my earliest costumes was a Velociraptor, because Jurassic Park: The Lost World, the second Jurassic Park film, was the biggest film kind of at that time. So me being someone who loved dinosaurs, that was one for me.
I remember one year I went as Ghostface, and obviously this is self-explanatory because pretty much a lot of people have gone as Ghostface because it's a very popular Halloween costume, especially even now, you know, even with the new Scream movies and such, because Ghostface has always been a popular Halloween costume. So I feel like that one's self-explanatory.
The next one I went to is James Bond, because I actually had the nickname James Bond or whatever, because most of my friends were actually girls or whatever, even from elementary to high school or whatever, so I've always had the nickname James Bond.
My next one is, this is when I was younger, I think, but I went as Dipsy from the Teletubbies.
Yeah. That was the year that I was the Velociraptor.
Yeah, I went as Dipsy from the Teletubbies. It's probably not one of my proudest moments, but
especially since one time I remember we got into an argument. I forgot what the argument was, but all I remember is it resulted in me actually getting so mad at him one time that I pulled the little antenna thing off from his costume.
Yeah.
One year I was actually Superman. I even found some red underwear to put outside of my costume, because for some reason the Superman costume that I got did not come with the red trunks, so I just found some red underwear to just put outside of there.
One year I went as a werewolf, and this was not one of my favorite costumes because afterwards, taking the hair off of my face with this sticky glue and stuff, it was terrible because it stuck to my face, and it
It actually
terrible to
it
take
actually
off.
looked cool though.
It looked really cool, but it was terrible. And I think I actually won like second or first place in a Halloween costume contest at the
Yeah,
mall.
you did.
So,
It was actually surprisingly, it actually looked good with what we had.
yeah.
One year I actually went as Austin Powers for Halloween, and the only costume that we could find was a pimp outfit. So I just basically didn't wear the hat, and I just basically had an iPad with me, just with the Austin Powers theme, just blaring as I like walked down the high school hallway.
One year I went as a pumpkin. This is when I was a baby. My mom dressed me up as a pumpkin, you know. Parents like to dress their children up as pumpkins
And they
when they're
get no
babies.
say.
And they obviously get no say, so like, you know, I have baby pictures of me as a pumpkin, so I don't know. It's whatever, but I was a pumpkin, so
One year I went as Freddy Krueger for Halloween, and I did not bring the mask because the masks always look like garbage. Same with the Jason masks. I don't know why they can't just get a hockey mask or whatever. I don't know why they have to have the plastic one. But anyway, I went without the mask, and the glove looked awesome. The problem is that it's on the right hand. I'm also right handed, and I need to do schoolwork while I was at school. So I had, and since it was always a pain in the ass to get the glove on and then align all the claws on there, I had to learn to write left-handed that day.
this one is much more recent. I believe it was in 2020 or 2021. I think it was 2020.
Yeah,
I went as Tiger King or
I
Joe
remember that.
Exotic. I went as Joe Exotic. And this was pretty fun. It was just a kind of joke costume, but it was pretty funny. This is when I had my mullet or whatever at the time, and it was pretty fun costume, and we had a lot of fun with it. So
One year I actually had a pretty cool costume. I was the the penguin, the Danny DeVito penguin, and the makeup was the we like legit had the same makeup and had the gloves with the three fingers and stuff. It was pretty cool. All right.
so I remember one year, and this was also more recently. I was Steven Stifler for Halloween from American Pie. And I had a white shirt that said 8.5 inches on it, and it was pretty funny to do. It was really funny,
Yeah.
and it was really funny.
Yeah, that was really cool. To add on that, I was also King Kong one year. I just wore a gorilla costume, and it was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
One year for Halloween, I was Green Lantern, and I actually might be Green Lantern this year again. I'm not entirely sure because the costume's actually pretty cool, though kind of funny. Basically, it was a plastic, kind of a plastic outfit where it kind of outlined the biceps or whatever. But so sitting down, it always made kind of went like "Ugh," like that. But I actually enjoyed it overall.
So I saved the last two for last, but the first one I'm gonna say is when I dressed as Harry Potter, and this was obviously one of my favorite costumes of all time because I love Harry Potter, and I have a tattoo dedicated to Harry Potter, and Harry Potter is one of my favorite, probably actually my favorite movie franchise of all time. And I just love this costume, and it's an amazing franchise, and I love Harry Potter so much. It's why this costume means so much to me.
One of my last costumes that I'll mention is for like 4 years in a row because once again, I had ideas of what I wanted to dress as, but I always forget last second. So old reliable was the Dark Magician from Yu-Gi-Oh. Just because it was just an easy costume and Yu-Gi-Oh was big at the time, so the only thing I didn't have, I think I might have had the staff one year. Other than that, it was just the costume.
And then my final one is I went dressed as the Magna Defender from Power Rangers
Lost Galaxy.
Lost Galaxy, and this is probably my favorite Halloween costume ever, and this is when I was a kid. And the story to go along with it, we went to Baskin Robbins, and it was at the old Capitol Hill Mall, which obviously is no longer there, and we were getting ice cream, and I was running back to the car, and I tripped and fell, and somehow saved my ice cream.
Like you fell or whatever, and it fell forward, and you were like, "Huh."
Yeah, and I somehow saved my ice cream.
That was awesome.
It's like, in that moment, I was the Magna Defender, and I defended my ice cream. But this is probably the greatest costume I've ever had, honestly, so.
The last costume that I will say that I wore that I actually did enjoy wearing probably the most, just because I got the role play, was Barry Burton from Resident Evil. I think I was him for like maybe 2, maybe 3 years or whatever, just because college, didn't have time to get a new costume or whatever. But I actually, for the first time, I actually grew out my facial hair or whatever, because I didn't like the whole thing of drawing it or whatever, because that always looked fake to me. So, as much as I hate facial hair, I just let it grow out for this one exception. I got the costume near perfection, and I just acted as Barry Burton pretty much the entire time.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And before we go, I will say that there is one bonus thing. I didn't wear this costume. I didn't have any friends that wore this costume, but this is a memorable story from high school. So there was a group of friends that actually asked to take the day off from school and actually got permission from the school to do this. But one of them was Pac-Man, like made a box to look like Pac-Man, and did the same, and the other friends did the same thing with the ghosts or whatever that chase Pac-Man around. And throughout the day, we would be doing class, and then literally the Pac-Man will just be running past, and the ghosts would be chasing him, just yelling beep 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 all day. That was probably the greatest Halloween memory that I have in high school.
So that was our video on our favorite memories from past years of Halloween costumes. We hope you enjoyed episode 3 of HauntTober. Hopefully you can tune in Monday for episode 4. We don't quite know what episode 4 is going to be yet.
We'll work on it.
We'll come up with something over the weekend for episode 4. Be looking out for that. Travis, do you have anything else to say?
Just at least I hope that this video gave just enough content, since the last 2 ones were pretty short.
Go check out the other 2 videos of HauntTober. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this video, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, turn on notifications so you get notified when we upload a new video. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Travis.
And we're the 406 boys. See ya.
Ooh.
Ha 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 ha!